Welcome back to another portfolio update. In this video, I'll be buying 3 stocks, 3 Canadian dividend stocks I should say, and I'll give you my thoughts on why I'm adding these stocks to my portfolio. Let's jump right in. So let's see where we last left off the portfolio back in February. So I'm going to refresh the data. And where I last left this off was I only have 4 holdings in this portfolio: TELUS, Algonquin Power Utilities, BTCC, the Bitcoin ETF, and ZIN, the BMO Innovation Index ETF. As of right now, I have 2 stocks that one covers the telecommunication services and one covers multi-line utilities. And I'm hoping to add more stocks so that way I can get exposure to more industries. The activities, again, there has not been much activity since my last update. I made that 150 initial deposit. I made 4 trades, and then I have made more deposits along the way. And that's why I like Wealthsimple, because I can deposit cash here and there, and then once that cash balance builds up, I can go ahead and buy as many stocks or ETFs as I want, whether it's 1 stock or 1 ETF. And the summary of my portfolio, I have a 12% increase in BTCC, TELUS a small increase, and then a 5.5% loss in ZIN, and a small loss in AQN. You can see that a good chunk of my portfolio is sitting in cash right now, which will change after this video. And I have AQN 21%, TELUS at 13%, ZIN at 15%, and BTCC at 27%. These are all based on market values. And this is a waterfall graph, which sort of gives me a snapshot on where I'm getting my profit from. So you can see that most of my profit is being derived from BTCC and a small contribution from TELUS. And the gain from BTCC is absorbing the loss from ZIN and AQN, giving me an overall portfolio profit of $4.44 or $4.45. So what 3 stocks am I buying today? The first stock I'd like to add today is TD. This is a stock you are likely very familiar with. It is one of the largest banks in Canada. TD has a large exposure not only within Canada, but also outside of Canada. It's seen steady growth over the last 5 years. This dipped back in last year, and it has recovered before that January 2020 drop. It has a dividend yield of just under 4%, a market cap of close to $150 billion. Let's look at some other stats. And with TD, I'm looking for 2 things. I'm looking for dividend growth, I'm looking for dividends, and I'm looking for capital appreciation. This is why I like TD. It has a solid payout ratio of less than 48%, meaning it has room to grow its dividends, a very healthy yield of 3.85%. It has revenue of $37 billion, and it has a quarterly revenue growth year over year of 8.3%. So once the restrictions on banks in Canada have been lifted that are preventing them from increasing dividends, my thought is that once that restriction goes away, all the banks will have a major dividend increase, because they've been holding back for at least the last year or so from being able to do dividend increases. It has quarterly earnings growth of 9.6%, again, very good. And the main piece I want to show you guys is the dividend. So currently it's been paying 79 cents a share since April of 2020. And if I scroll down, it has a long history of growth. All the way, keep going, since 1995. It has been growing its dividend. It has been paying its dividend. It has paid through the last depression. It has paid through the pandemic. It is a healthy dividend payer. In the past 5 years, this stock is up almost 50%. And this is what I want to see as an investor who's looking for not only dividend growth, but also capital appreciation along the way. So I have $162 in my account available to trade. I'm going to go ahead and buy 1 share of TD so I can start my exposure into the banking sector. Place order. That's TD. The next stock I'm going to add is ATD. Alimentation Couche-Tard is a leader in the convenience store space. It operates independent convenience stores. It sells goods for immediate consumption, road transportation fuel, and other products mainly through company-operated stores and franchisee stores. It operates under the Circle K brand, Ingo, Couche-Tard brands, and it's been around since 1980, and it's headquartered in Laval, Canada. So if we're taking a look at this stock, you can see that it has a very good buy rating, coverage from 13 analysts, and some of them even said it's a very strong buy. If we look at the dividends, currently it's paying 8.8 cents per share, and it has recently grown that dividend as recently as September of 2020. And if I scroll down, you can see that throughout since 2005 at least, it's been growing and paying its dividend. The payout ratio is less than 10%, meaning it has tons of room to continue paying a dividend into the future. Although it has a very small yield of 57 basis points, but you're not buying the stock for its yield, you're buying it for the growth potential. Again, you're buying it for capital appreciation and for dividend growth. So I'm going to go ahead and add 1 share of this to my portfolio. All right, that's that. The last stock I want to add to my portfolio is Aecon. Aecon currently has a dividend yield of 3.56%, a market cap of over $1 billion, and it has also seen some steady growth along the way. If you go ahead and look at some historical data, this is another healthy dividend growth payer. The dividends have been steadily increasing since the early 2000s, and it's now paying a dividend of 16 cents per share. Not only that, but it also has a very strong buyer rating from the 11 analysts, 8 of them which say it's a buy, and 3 of them which say it's a strong buy. Aecon has been able to grow its revenue from $2.8 million back in 2017 all the way to $3.6 million in 2020. And the revenue has grown every year. Not only has the revenue grown, but the profit has also grown. Where the profit in 2017 was $390 million, it's now over $400 million in 2020. Now, because I only have $37 available to trade, I'm going to go ahead and buy 1 share of this as well. And that's it. That is my buy. So in total, now my portfolio is valued at just under $308. I'm actually going to go ahead and update my spreadsheet as well. So you can see my last activities. I've made some deposits along the way, and I have made some market buys. So let's go into my activity. My last deposit was March 8, and I've had 2 more deposits along the way, $25 and $90, and those are my 2 deposits. Now for the 3 acquisitions that I just made for the 3 new investments, today's date. Let me just format this. And it's an investment, so it has to be negative. Same thing here, formatting, $41.67. TD was $82.37. Okay, those are my trades. There you go, my cash balance is $17.64, and it ties to the amount available to trade. I'm going to go ahead and update this as well. Let's add in my 3 new investments, change my data type. Let's add in a TD.B. Select. Let's change this to TD. I want the one on the Toronto Stock Exchange. This one is Aecon. Let's go ahead and change this one. ARE. And if you've never used this feature in Excel, what I like about this is that once you put in your stocks, it will automatically give you its pricing in real time. Just hit data and refresh. And then you can choose which metrics you want to see, all the way from the 52-week high, low, beta, change, description, employees, exchange, headquarters, whatever you want. So now you can see in my portfolio, I have exposure to telecommunications, multi-line utilities, food and drug retailing, banking services, construction, and engineering. I've updated my ticker data. I've updated my activity. And now I'm going to go ahead and update this. Now that I've updated my spreadsheet, we can already see in real time that I've already taken a 1-cent loss in Aecon, and I'm up 1 cent for ATD, and I'm down 2 cents for TD. And that's going to happen. You're going to see fluctuations no matter when you buy your stocks. And now you can see the cool thing is that TD makes up almost 30% of my portfolio, followed by BTC and ATD and AQ at about 14% apiece. And the biggest driver of my overall profit is also BTCC. And you know what? Because I actually have some cash left over, it's enough to cover at least one more unit of BTCC. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to add one more share of BTCC. So you know what? Let's add to our position here. I have enough left to buy one. So why not? Let's go ahead and add yes. Done. Okay, activity I've bought. So my last buy for BTC was 5 shares and I bought them at 943. So you can see it's gone up since then. Now I'm buying at 1031. Let's go ahead and update the spreadsheet. Another acquisition, today's date. So now my summary should automatically update. What's really neat to see is that the investment in BTC is essentially driving most of my gains. It's covering the loss from Zin and all these small losses from AQN. And you know what? It's really fun just to refresh it to see how all these graphs and things like that change. And now my cash balance only makes up 2% of my portfolio. What I want to show you is that you don't have to make big splashes in order to build a portfolio. You can start from humble beginnings like I have. I started this from zero, as you guys have seen, and I'm slowly adding to this portfolio every now and then. If we go back and look at February, the portfolio is worth $148. It's worth now $307. Obviously, most of that has come from deposits at $307. So in theory, I'm only up, I've only made $2.84. But the goal is to keep growing this portfolio, keep adding funds to it, and then give you my thoughts on why I'm buying a particular stock and ETF. I like ATD. It's a fast growing company. It's got both potential for dividends and capital appreciation. It has convenience stores across North America and Europe. TD is one of the largest banks in Canada and significant exposure outside of Canada. And with Aecon, once things settle down with COVID-19, there will be tons of opportunity for them to continue with construction, as you will need bridges, you will need highways, you will need roads. There will always be room for a major player in construction. So with that is my portfolio, and this is the snapshot of my portfolio. And that's really it for this video. Just a quick snapshot on why I'm making my purchases, those 3 different stocks. If there's any stocks that you are buying right now, let me know your thoughts in the comments below on why you're making certain purchases. Maybe I'll add them to my portfolio if the argument is compelling enough. I have links to promo codes in the description below. They offer various discounts and sign-up bonuses. They also help directly support the channel, so be sure to take advantage of those offers. Do you have questions for me? Feedback on this video or ideas on future content? Make sure to leave your thoughts in the comments as well. And while you're at it, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. That's it for this video. I'll catch you guys in the next one.